Okay. So me and Justine are joining from Rhode Island. It's a sunny fall day. We are in November, which is
My birthday month.
Justine's birthday month. Very exciting. Oh, you too, Karen? Okay. She's the 16th. Yeah. She was born right after a snowstorm. We had an early snowstorm that winter. And first snowstorm of that season and the biggest of that season was November 15th, and then she was born the next morning.
16th.
Yeah, the snow came on the night of the 15th. And you came at 12:22. Anyway. And one cool fact is we have this tree, we have a maple tree in our yard, and it turns bright red every time. It's like right around her birthday. And I can remember
it's bright red and the leaves are falling in our yard.
Yeah, lots of leaves falling. And I just remember the time when I had her newborn baby clothes hung up on the clothesline, ready for a baby, and the tree. And now it's just fun every year. When the tree is red, it's time to celebrate Justine. So that's exciting. So we are so happy to be with you. And we have kironJ and we have Faith. So we are ready to be lifted, uplifted, shifted. And I will begin with a prayer. So thank you everyone for letting us know where you're joining from. It's so fun. So I'm just placing my hands on my heart. Just taking a moment to be consciously open and receptive. So deeply grateful for this opportunity to come together, knowing our intention is to be in the vibration of the truth, and the truth is love itself. We are grateful to vibrate at this frequency. Grateful for the messages that will come to us. Grateful for kironJ for stepping forward and sharing from her experience, from her guidance. And the same with Faith. Grateful for Faith to bring her music to enrich the experience. So we are just saying thank you for the gifts that are here, for the many, many, many blessings that make up this gathering. Grateful to come together and share in this loving energy and take it forward to deepen our commitment to living the truth. And so just in pure gratitude, we let all be. And in anticipation, we give thanks in advance for all that is. Sharing the blessings with all, sharing in the oneness. Amen. Thank you. And so grateful to bring Faith on. I love reading her bio. It's so fun. It's just fun. And it's just fun to, yeah, just to connect with you as a musician from where you started and where you are now. So Faith started playing guitar when she was 10 years old and knew from then on she wanted to have a career as a musician. She was scared to sing, but her guitar teacher insisted she sing along to the songs she was playing. She probably ended up playing and singing every Beatles song ever written. Faith studied music at DePaul University and then started her long career as a professional musician. She has been the music director for Agape International Sunday Evening Service for 15 years. And she also served as the choir director for Reverend Jesse Brune's Spiritual Community Choir, Inspired Voices. As a member of the Agape International Choir, she shared the stage with legends and greats, including Earth, Wind, and Fire, David Foster, and Carl Anderson. And she's had the pleasure to perform for and share the stage with speaking icons Marianne Williamson, Deepak Chopra, and Michael Beckwith. Faith loves singing so much she began to help others learn to sing, forming her own coaching studio in LA, the Artist First Voice Studio. She's presently on staff at the AMDA Conservatory in LA. She calls her music artistry. She hopes that it inspires and uplifts you. So, all yours, Faith. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angela. I was inspired to sing the song. It's an older song. I did not write it. It's called Hands. If you remember the artist Jewel, this came out quite some time, but it feels so timely for where we are right now. If I could tell the world just one thing, it would be that we're all okay. And not to worry, 'cause worry is wasteful and useless in times like these. I won't be made useless. I won't be idle with despair. I will gather myself around my faith, for light does the darkness most fear. My hands are small, I know, but they're not yours, they are my own. They're not yours, they are my own, and we are never broken. Poverty stole your golden shoes, but did not steal your laughter. And heartache came to visit me, but I knew it wasn't ever after. We'll fight, not out of spite, but someone must stand up for what's right. And where there is man who has no voice, ours will go on singing. My hands are small, I know, but they're not yours, they are my own. And they're not yours, they are my own, and we are never broken. And in the end, only kindness matters. In the end, only love matters. I will get down on my knees and I will pray. I will get down on my knees and I will pray. My hands are small, I know, but they're not yours, they are my own. And they're not yours, they are my own, and we are never broken. We are God's eyes, God's hands, God's heart. We are God's eyes, God's hands, God's heart.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Good song for our times.
Yeah. Wow. I told you we are blessed. I feel blessed. Thank you for sharing that beautiful song.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and now we get to move to our message with our speaker, kironJ. So kironJ is a Course in Miracles teacher based in the UK. She has a passion for an experiential approach to studying the Course and loves to help others find their own relationship with the love that flows through this profound spiritual teaching. kironJ offers workshops, classes, and one-on-one support, and has worked with other teachers such as Nook Sanchez and Corinne Zupko. She deeply appreciates the gifts of collaboration, finding enjoyment and healing as spirit works through them. kironJ met Jennifer in 2019 when they were both speakers at the UK ACIM conference, and this has led to a beautiful friendship. kironJ has led many workshops and classes for the Power of Love Ministry in recent years. So we are grateful to have kironJ once again, and I'll turn it over to you. Good to see you.
Thank you, Angela. Yeah, it's very lovely to be here. I'd like to start by saying this is the last time I will be at Sundays with Spirit for the foreseeable future, and also the upcoming class series that I'm going to be talking about is the last one for the ministry for the foreseeable future. And I'd like to take this opportunity to attempt to express such infinite gratitude for everything that's been shared. I have loved, loved, loved doing this work. It's been beautiful, miraculous. And I'm so appreciative of everybody who has joined in with it. So appreciative of Jennifer giving this opportunity to share. But the form of my work is changing, has been changing, and I'm doing less online work. And this is giving space to start writing a book, a Course in Miracles book, which I have slowly and surely started. And I'm getting more involved with in-person work in Europe, feeling called to do that. So less online stuff. So I'd just like to begin with this huge gratitude. And now we can go into what's being presented here today. Your part in God's plan for salvation. That's the title of this talk. It's the title of the upcoming series on the 16th and 30th of November. There's a lot that could unsettle us in this title. Your part in God's plan for salvation. So the aim of this talk and the series is to take a look at the ideas contained in this title. The Course teaches that where there is understanding, there is peace. And hopefully our looking will bring some peace. Let's start with considering what salvation is. Would you like to close your eyes and ask yourself, what's my definition of salvation? What does this word mean to me? And let's open our eyes again. A Christian understanding of salvation would be that we've been saved from our sins by the crucifixion of Jesus. Whether we've had a Christian upbringing or not, it's likely that most of us will have come across this understanding. And even with long study and practice of A Course in Miracles, some of the inferences of that terrifying thought, sin is real, and Jesus died because we're so bad, some of this may still be lingering. And questions such as, will I have to suffer such a fate in order to return to heaven? Such questions may be lurking, unsettling to say the least. But the A Course in Miracles teaching on salvation presents a very different picture. It can also be uncomfortable, but for entirely other reasons. And we're looking and hopefully bringing peace, total peace, about these ideas. The Course's salvation is being saved from our belief in the reality of sin and guilt, which aren't real at all. We don't have to be saved from actual sin and guilt. And no one else can save us in any way. Salvation requires the change of our mind. And that change is brought about by the practice of forgiveness and receiving miracles. Our discomfort lies in that not only are our sin and guilt not real, but the person who seems to believe in sin and guilt isn't real either. Salvation is being saved from our belief in a human existence and a physical world. The question is, do we want to be saved from all that seems to be real in our personal experience? That prospect can seem overwhelmingly scary, and it can easily lead us to turn away from true healing. Let's hear what the Course has got to say about salvation. A quote: "How simple is salvation? All it says is what was never true is not true now, and never will be. The impossible has not occurred, and can have no effect. And that is all. Can this be hard to learn by anyone who wants it to be true? Only unwillingness to learn it could make such an easy lesson difficult." So taking this quote phrase by phrase, how simple is salvation? That's good. It's simple. Let's hang on to that. All it says is what was never true is not true now, and never will be. So what was never true can't suddenly become true. It's teaching us that truth is true and nothing else is true. That is a very simple idea. The impossible has not occurred. This is linking impossibility with non-truth. Only truth is possible, and non-truth is not possible. That makes sense. That's clear. And because the impossible has not occurred, it can have no effect. You need a cause to have an effect. That's very straightforward too. And that is all. Salvation isn't some complicated intellectual theory that only the very gifted can understand. It's a choice to accept truth is true, and nothing else is true. Can this be hard to learn by anyone who wants it to be true? No, of course not. A child can understand truth is true. But this phrase puts forth our difficulty. It's not hard to learn when we want salvation. Again, the question, do we want it? Only unwillingness to learn it could make such an easy lesson difficult. This is also simple. We'll have salvation when we want it, and we won't have salvation when we don't want it. The challenge and mighty invitation is not to put responsibility elsewhere. It's our mind's decision, yes or no to salvation. This decision isn't affected by anything in the world, anyone else, no matter how it can seem sometimes. The Course teaches salvation is for the mind and it is attained through peace. This is the only thing that can be saved, the mind, and the only way to save it, through peace. So, our part is to choose peace. To choose peace in every circumstance, in every seeming happening in our human lives. And we can only do this when we accept that truth is true and illusions, our human lives, are not true. Most of us need great support in making this choice, because the attraction to individuality and the guilt that goes with it is great, enormous, huge. But no problem. We come to what the Course calls God's plan for salvation. This is not meant to be taken literally. If the separation never happened, and God is all there is, he couldn't have a plan to save us. From what? God couldn't be God and acknowledge the impossible as real. God couldn't be God and literally have a plan for salvation. The Holy Spirit is the memory of God in our minds. When the mind is interested in salvation, it will turn to this memory more and more and be glad to accept that God is real and separation isn't. This shift in the mind's interest and attention will transform the mind's understanding of the dream that it's made. This transformation of understanding is the miracle. It's reflected by the practice of forgiveness. And this is what the Course means by God's plan for salvation. The phraseology is used to reassure us that God will welcome us back. There isn't a vengeful God who's angry with us and wants to punish us, no matter how deep these ego fears run. A lot of the Course is reassuring us there isn't a vengeful God who wants to attack us. This plan, this work of forgiveness, can't fail because it represents the mind's choice to heal. Our minds are all powerful, and so when they make this decision, they will heal. They will save themselves from the belief in sin, guilt, and fear, and remember that God is only love. There is nothing to be fearful about in the process of accepting salvation, unless we fear letting go of the unreal. Some more from the Course about salvation. Salvation asks you, but that you forgive all things no one ever did, to overlook what is not there, and to not look upon the unreal as reality. You are but asked to let your will be done and seek no longer for the things you do not want. And you are asked to let yourself be free of all the dreams of what you never were, and seek no more to substitute the strength of idle wishes for the will of God. It's just a fantastic description of salvation. Would you like to close your eyes? And let's contemplate this quote, phrase by phrase. Salvation asks you, but that you forgive all things that no one ever did. To overlook what is not there. And not to look upon the unreal as reality. You are but asked to let your will be done, and seek no longer for the things you do not want. And you are asked to let yourself be free of all the dreams of what you never were, and seek no more to substitute the strength of idle wishes for the will of God. Would you like to open your eyes again? And here's such a wake-up call quote, which delivers us to the end of our fantasy lives. Salvation must reverse the mad belief in separate thoughts and separate bodies, which lead separate lives and go their separate ways. Would you like to think of what you'll be doing this week? Going to work, perhaps. Being with your family. Seeing friends. Spiritual study. Spiritual gatherings. Watching the news. There's a certain thing going on Tuesday, I believe, in the States. Might require a lot of watching the news. How much does it seem like there will be separate bodies leading separate lives? You leading your life, your friends, family, work colleagues leading their lives, politicians leading their lives. How real does this seem? And let's hear the quote again. Salvation must reverse the mad belief in separate thoughts and separate bodies, which lead separate lives and go their separate ways. If this is salvation, do we want it? No separate people leading their own lives. No world where this is the foundation of existence and a fundamental tenet. And what if we don't want salvation, God's plan? What's the alternative? The alternative is the world as we know it now, full of disease, disaster, death, difficulty here, difficulty always on the horizon. This alternative is based on the ego's plan for salvation, which it eagerly suggests at every turn. Here's what the Course has to say about the ego's plan for salvation. The ego's plan for salvation centers around holding grievances. It maintains that if someone else spoke or acted differently, if some external circumstance or event were changed, you would be saved. Thus, the source of salvation is constantly perceived as outside yourself. The change of mind necessary for salvation is thus demanded of everyone and everything except yourself. How often have we looked to the ego for salvation? How many life would be better if thoughts have we thought? Life would be better if my partner changed, my children changed, my work colleagues changed, my finances changed, my body changed, the government changed. As the Course says, the ego's plan is in strict accord with its basic doctrine: seek, but do not find. If salvation's in our mind and we're looking for it out there, we will never find it. So which of the two plans will we choose? The ego's plan for salvation? Someone else has to change. Something else has to change for my life to be better. Or God's plan for salvation? The healing of our minds. The return to truth and sanity and peace. We're choosing one of these plans moment by moment in our daily lives, whether we realize it or not. I hope the upcoming series, Your Part in God's Plan for Salvation, will be a great support to look at the choice of plans and for us to choose the only one that works, the only one that brings true and lasting peace. So let's close with what I hope you might see as a deeply inspiring quote from the Course. I have a special place to fill, a role for me alone. When I willingly and gladly go the way my Father's plan appointed me to go, then will I recognize salvation is already here, already given all my brothers, and already mine as well. Thank you very much for joining me in this, and back to you, Angela.
Thank you. Thank you for taking us to that deep place. Thank you for your sharing. And in this time to reflect on our message, I feel that we've already gone so deep. And what comes to me is to consider, as kironJ said, this upcoming week we have ahead. And as she pointed out, we may often consider ourselves in our lives doing our thing. What is our list? What's ours to do? And just asking, how can we bring in this awareness to our week ahead? How can we do as we seem to be doing and yet have a clear intention to access the gift of salvation, which is available? And what I took away was that as when we choose peace, we access the gift. So let's see ourselves moving through our week with a focus on choosing peace. Placing peace, being peaceful, choosing peace as our number one goal. And if there was anything else that came up for you in kironJ's sharing, take a moment to note that, any resistance you have, or anything that resonated deeply. Perhaps making a note, mental note or physical note. Just so grateful to have been given this reminder that the ego would have us seeking and writing endless to-do lists that would, I'm speaking for myself, okay, that the endless to-do list of how I could manage and control all the elements of my life and make them perfectly perfect. And yet, when my focus is there, or when anything gets off track, I lose my peace so quickly. But placing our attention rather on being peaceful while anything is accomplished or being attempted. So that's what I'm taking away. And so just noticing any resistance to giving up the focus on the doing. And just grateful for this beautiful, peaceful place that we are in here and now, that we move forward, preserving this peace, protecting it, choosing it, prioritizing it. And I am going to pass along to Faith whenever you're ready to move us into our next song. Thank you.
The words I have to say may well be simple, but they're true. Until you give your love, there's nothing more that we can do. You say it's very hard to leave behind the life we knew. But there's no other way. Now it's really up to you. Love is the key we must turn. Truth is the flame we must burn. Freedom a lesson we must learn. You know what I mean. Your eyes have really seen. Peace is the opening door. Love is what we came here for. No one could offer you more. Do you know what I mean? Your eyes have really seen. You know what I mean. For your eyes have really seen.
Lovely. I feel like I could take the blissful nap right now. And I would be, my daughter fell asleep, and it's like, I can be awake though and feel this good too. It's just like, can't get any more calm. That was gorgeous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, now we get to have our moment of sharing. And just whatever came up with you in the service, what came up for you, what's coming up? Because when we have a conversation about it, we can bring it forward, activate it in our lives. So we have this opportunity to go into a breakout, and it's 12 minutes. So just considering sharing the time. You don't have to share anything. If you'd like to just hold space, please do what feels comfortable. And yeah, just anything that you'd like to share about moving into the week. And yeah, I don't need to give you an assignment. Just share whatever's on your heart. And we'll be back in about 12 minutes. So thank you. Okay. So now I will help April with this part. And there we go. And myself. Okay, so now we get to share. Faith, I guess if you would like to start, what's speaking to you today?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it was such a deep, deep conversation. Thank you so much, kironJ. So great to be here with you. And Angela, your prayer, the meditation was really brought in the idea of, again, about peace and what's keeping me from peace in my life. And it's any idea that something has to be different for me to be in peace. And there is that thing that I come up against all of the time, because I want things, to change in my life. There's some things I would like to see um, uh, manifest differently, and yet to be not to wait or for that experience to have peace in my life. And of course, we have the elections coming up, and it's the constant conversation here in the States about what's going on, and so many people are in fear and worry and doubt, and I've really been holding peace through this, and it's allowed me to be able to see a greater truth here, that it's not your side, my side. that we're evolving towards something, and it will happen. The greater truth will happen. But it can be a challenge. It certainly can. When finances aren't working in my life and things like that, that's a really big button for me, to go into worry, doubt, and fear, or how can I change this? How can I make this happen? What do I have to do now? And sometimes what I have to do now is to shift, right? Just step back and see that bigger picture. Because it's in that, when I'm kind of beating down on like this thing, like that, that even that motion in my body. Look what happened to my body. I just went, it's this thing. It's like taking a paper. I just thought of this idea of like you got this thing, you're trying to erase something in a piece of paper, you're making a hole in it, It's like I just erase this thing, everything would be good. And then we just put a hole in the paper. Yeah. So that's an interesting thing to think about. The energy that I feel when I'm trying to fix things, and I tune into the energy in my body. What does that feel like? And that doesn't feel. If it doesn't feel good, there's something. I don't have to. Like this idea that I have to fix things. It doesn't mean I don't want to sit in a cave and not do anything. There's a big difference between that. Though that might be what somebody is called to do. I don't think it's my calling. So yeah, bringing more peace into my life, seeing things differently, the little buttons that push me, and that again, sometimes it's around my work and my finances and things like that, which puts me into, do I really trust? That trust would solve all problems. That came up in the beginning of our session today, and I just remembered, like, oh yeah. So, interestingly, I wasn't sure what songs to sing, and I always kind of let Spirit guide me, whatever that's going to be, and it felt like it kind of moved into to something that worked with what was happening in the service. It's so beautiful how that happens. So thank you again.
It was perfect. That song you've just sung was absolutely perfect. Yeah. My perception. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yes, it has that. It just is so much truth in the song. There's just so much truth there. Yeah. I love the line in it. You say it's very hard to leave behind the life we knew, right? But there's no other way, and now it's up to you. Yeah. Well, thank you, Karen.
Yeah. Thank you, Faye. Yeah, it's very lovely that you're here. Both of you are here.
I was so excited that you were going to be here today. And Angela too. I was like, ooh, I got the girls.
Good.
I got the heavyweights.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
The heavyweights of truth, I'll say. Call it like it is.
Well, yeah, this is how it seems to work here. Because of course we teach what we need to learn, what we want to learn. So I'm listening to everything that I present. Yeah. Yes. The course is just, I find it so exquisitely powerful and wonderful and beautiful, because the human temptation is to fix. We think, oh, I haven't got a lot of money. What am I going to do? Should I do this work, that work? Can I get some sponsorship here? Da, 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 da. And off we are running with separation thoughts. I'm vulnerable. I haven't got enough money. I'm lacking. I need to do something. And it's such a downward spiral. It might temporarily, you might temporarily sort something out. But if there's a belief in lack, then it'll just pop up somewhere else, as you know. And the course is magnificent in supporting us to come to the quiet center and rest there. And from there, we'll receive the sense of who to phone, who to email, who to contact, what to do. So, as you say, few of us are called to live in a cave. Some are, well, effectively that. But many of us, especially with the course, it's all about relationships and seemingly being in the world. But there's complete difference between letting things flow from that quiet center and, as you say, rubbing out the pain. What am I going to do? Yeah. So I'm very grateful for the wisdom that keeps reminding me of that. Mm.
Well, I would like to share one of the things that I'm getting to practice often is, well, this idea that, okay, it's not a new idea in our community, but that we're not separate, right? So with my daughter, what's starting to awaken, it almost feels like it's cracking through a thick layer of something in my awareness, is when she is having a seeming issue, like she's recently coming into, they're not listening to me. So my friend isn't listening to me, or I'm not listening to her. And yet it's my thing. It's the thing that I don't know what to do with myself from my personality standpoint when she doesn't listen to me. So just the other day, it's almost that I feel like I'm cracking the matrix or something. So that's why it feels like, wait, I think I know what's really happening here. But it's almost behind the thing that's really in my face is just the awareness that she's showing me I don't like her issue with whatever it is just being presented as mine, which is not a new concept. But when it's the trigger that because I find I lose my peace the most intensely with her and my husband, right? Okay, there they are, my practice mates. Thanks, guys. But literally, it's also the most painful because it brings up the strongest amount of guilt. So it's all this intense little bundle of powerful practice. So it's powerful in that when I feel like I forget, it's intensely painful in a sense. So what you were saying, it's like the salvation, what's been coming to me, because with her, whenever I am thinking like, well, she needs to figure this. And, my job is to give her a consequence and set her up for, real preparation. It's like the minute I separate her in my awareness, she is so upset. And her behavior gets more and more increased. And you could break that down on a parent in a parenting model or something, but I am so aware it's because in that moment I've separated her of my awareness and she feels it. And it's like, I think energetically we share the same aura for years and years. And even if not, knowing that we all share the same aura, if we're one being. So the minute I do that, even in my mind, she is like so inconsolable. So everything that's being brought to me now is just really, it's just so painful to see her as separate, treat her as separate, operate that she is separate in any way. And that's true for each person in my life. She's just my most powerful practice mate. So this idea that salvation is waiting for me when I can find ways of operating in this world where I don't allow that, or I just ask for help, then it's just, so things are shifting in my practice a little bit, but it feels big, but so everything you're saying is just so supportive of, because my thing is not the election, I'm telling you. It's just, I said this to April the other day. It's like, I just want to be nice to my child consistently. I want to be kind to her. I want to have that as a go-to knee-jerk reaction. So that's all I'm working on.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, families are the greatest teachers, aren't they? Or certainly can be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like we are back together again. Okay. And hope everyone enjoyed the breakout. You look smiley and cozy and happy. Those of you, great. Oh, good. Okay, great. So we'll have this time for announcements, and then we'll start closing shop here. So for the ministry, I'll give kironJ at the end of a moment for her to be able to announce her upcoming workshop. I will share that Jennifer's got her November workshop, and I'm just looking here for the exact date. So that's going to be on Saturday the 16th. That's Justine's birthday. And guess what? Family forgiveness is the topic. Great. As we just spoke, that family gives us the greatest opportunities often. And Jennifer loves to time that with the holidays coming up. So that's very timely that we can move into being steady, peaceful, rocks of peace for our family. As Jennifer says, the fulcrum point of healing in our family. So that's coming up. And we also have our, let's see, our next forgiveness workshop is a week from today. So we have those monthly free forgiveness letter writing workshops. So next Sunday, the 10th, and you can go to the link provided here if you want to register, and it's completely free, and the counselor will walk you through the process. So especially for people who know of the forgiveness letter who just have never written one or have issues, it just provides that space of support. So it's like you're there and you're writing it with everybody, so you'll get it done together. So that's happening. And Jennifer does have, it looks like she is guest appearing at the Awake in Stillness, the end of dreaming 3-day online conference. So we can put the link for that in the chat too. It looks like there are a bunch of speakers there. And the other huge thing is we Masterful Living registration is open, Masterful Living 2025. And just, it's always exciting with the upcoming year. I know time is an illusion, but I guess it's just the ego mind that loves pretending it's real and that there's goodness in store. But that is true, no matter if time is real or fake. The miracles await us, but to be together in community is powerful. So if you would like to book an exploratory call, if you're curious about Masterful Living, we always have those available free of charge. So I think that's all, and I can pass it over to you, kironJ, so you can say a little bit more about the course coming up on the 16th and 30th, if you would.
Thank you, Angela. Yes, just briefly, it's 2 classes. They are both 10 o'clock till midday Eastern timing. And there will be some reading and an exercise practice between the classes to prepare us for class 2. Class 1 is focusing on the general ideas of salvation. What is it? Do we need it? Just being even more clear about what we're talking about here. And then class 2 is focusing more on our part. Just what does that mean? And are we up for it? And what are the fears? And can we move through the fears? Because I've just been saying, you know, the alternative is to continue in a very, very difficult world and with painful situations. There really is no alternative but to keep on struggling or choose this forgiveness plan. So I hope it will be helpful. And I'm very happy to invite anybody who feels called to come and work with this. It'll be very lovely to see you there.
Beautiful. Thank you, kironJ. And so, Faith, you can have the floor. You can share your announcements and give us our final song.
Beautiful. Okay. Yes, great service today. I just released a song. It's streaming on all the platforms. It's called "We Are the Angels." Very uplifting and kind of an anthem-y kind of song for now. You can. There's the link in the chat if you'd like to stream it or buy it or download it. It's all available on all the different platforms. And then you can connect with me, faith@theartistfirst.com. You can use that email. And if you want to go and look at my voice and acting web coaching website, it's theartistfirst.com. And I do speaking coaching, and I'm also a spiritual counselor. I've been licensed as a spiritual counselor since 2003, so over 20 some years here, 21 years. And I do have clients, and with all of my coaching, that's all weaved in. It's a holistic approach to acting, singing, voice work, and life. So I'd love to connect with you if you have some questions about what I do or just want to connect, and please give me an email. And I write custom songs for different events for people. So if there's something coming up and you'd like a custom song written for your event, let me know. It's really beautiful. It can be anything from a wedding to an anniversary to a graduation to moving, anything that you'd want to celebrate. This song we all know pretty well, so you can sing along with me. My soul sings out. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, Faith.
Oh, so lovely. Thank you.
Beautiful. Well, we get to seal all this goodness with a prayer and go forward to be the peace that we are, that we desire. So grateful to place my hands on my heart and truly, truly give thanks for the blessings of this beautiful energy we created as we spoke the truth, as we sang the words of truth. We feel it resonate so beautifully within us. We are grateful to take this perfect peace out into our every movement, our every forward, our every future moment. So grateful for kironJ, grateful for all the time she's been here sharing from the bounty of her wisdom, her willingness to be a channel for the truth and to present the course in such a pure and powerful way. And we are just so grateful for her, the time that she has spent with us, and blessing all that's to come. Thanking Faith for being here, just beautifully singing from her heart and truly adding such a powerful, loving energy to this service. We thank each and every one of you for staying all the way to the end and participating and knowing that you are teachers of God in your world, in your community. And we're all grateful for this opportunity to go forward, considering our part in the plan for salvation. And just choosing it, choosing it now. Calling in that Christ vision to see ourselves and everyone as perfectly perfect, perfectly whole. Catching ourselves when we are complaining or focusing on the problems, just shifting ourselves lovingly. So we have great work to do, and we're grateful for this purpose we have. We share the blessings of this path with everyone, knowing there's one. We receive and give as the same. We let it be, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.